My name is Roy Elam. Right now we're at Donna here in Bankers Hill. We've been here since February 22nd, 2017, so about 3.5 years. I'm a co-owner. There's me and 2 other partners, but I'm the day-to-day guy here. We do primarily pizza, pasta, vegetable dishes, all made from scratch here in the restaurant. And everything is all plant-based, all vegan here. 2020 was actually looking really great at the beginning. We were on track to have our busiest year ever. We were serving 200 to 300 people a day. We had just transitioned into more fresh pastas, which was something I really wanted to do. And then it all changed. We've had to pivot about 5, 6 different times in the last 5 months to go from a full service restaurant to a restaurant that does primarily takeout, and it's been really challenging. Sourcing ingredients was a really big thing. There was a moment there where we couldn't get a lot of the things that we were used to just getting, so I had to find other avenues of getting it, so I started buying direct, which I wasn't doing before. So getting pallets of flour and 12 big things of coconut oil because we really needed it. That's what we use to make our butter and our cheeses and all that kind of stuff. A lot of menu pivots for sure, trying to figure out what we could do to sustain business and what people were really looking for. We've changed our dining room probably 10 times. At first we were letting people come all the way in, and then we pushed it all the way to the front. Now it's a hybrid of this kind of quick service where you can walk in and do your to-go orders in there, but then you can also get sat and sit at a table and get full table service. So part of the way we tried to create distance here is that we knew some people weren't comfortable with sitting down and being with the public, so we kept this whole side for if you're just doing takeout or delivery. So you can walk through this way, you see the little footprints and everything, and you would come straight in here. And then as you can see here, we have each section set up to where we just drop the bags, and then you grab it, no touch. People are able to just sign the tickets and just drop them off in the little section. We have 3 little things where you see here where we have used pins, clean pins, so we sanitize them after everybody uses them all. Little hand sanitizer set up everywhere. And then we have it set up to where you come in here, you grab your stuff, and then you just go right around the corner, and then you're out the door again. We're always following the CDC guidelines just to try to keep up on current events. We're part of the CRA here, California Restaurant Association, so I get emails from them all the time. I started following the IRC, which is the Independent Restaurant Coalition. They've really been doing a lot of work to try to fix the problems with the PPP loan because it really wasn't set up for restaurants at all. I don't know how many small businesses it was really set up for, honestly. So it's just really trying to stay up on current events because nobody is calling the restaurants to say, hey, this is what you have to do right now. You have to really stay up on top of it yourself. I pay attention on Instagram and everything to see what other people are doing, what seems to be working for them. Everybody shares the positive things, and I know that everybody's struggling right now. But yeah, I check in, especially my friends up in LA, just because they've gotten hit really hard up there, just to see how they're doing. Some people don't know if they're gonna be able to open again. Some people have pivoted really well and have been able to do it. Like Tribute Pizza, I love those guys. They're here in town, and it's cool to see that they shifted from being only open 6 days a week to being open to 7 days a week. They're doing a special pizza every single day. They were really inspiring to see how much they were just like, we're going into this. We're a takeout restaurant now. This is what we're gonna do. Before we had, let's say 10, 12 tables in here. So it's kind of a big space to not be using. But now I moved my office out here, which is really nice. Before it was just this little tiny corner in the back, and now you can just sit out here and under the skylight. It's really nice. But we have our full bar here, so all of our wines. I've got so many cookbooks. That's how we reference things here, and I buy them and I keep them here just so my staff can look at them too. Little fermentation projects out here. We like to show everybody what we're working on. That actually is a fennel vinegar. I think one of the coolest stories is that we make our own hot sauce, right? So 2-month fermentation. Then we blend it with vinegar, and then we strain out all the seeds, but those seeds still have a lot of flavor in it. So we started drying them out and then pulsing down into a powder. We stopped buying cayenne altogether and started using that instead. So it's got this cool little funk, but it's also like super spicy. So we just stretch things like 1 or 2 times, you know, try to use it as much as possible. Kind of fun. You know, it doesn't sustain everything we need out there, but it's also cool to be able to use the things that we're growing out there. And I really like having stuff growing out there too, because people can see where food comes from. Because I think a lot of times people just see it in the grocery store and it's wrapped in plastic and it's just like this commodity item. It's like, no, it actually has to grow first. Then you can have it in the store. My mom and my grandma and everything, they have their own farm in Ohio, and that's how I grew up. You know, just seeing people growing their own food and eating it and all that kind of stuff. It's a lost thing in cities now, I think. Say hi to But anyway, I'll be coming back this way. If you want to come back here, this is just our main kitchen. This old pizza oven, probably about as old as I am, came from the last restaurant that was here. This is the source of so much of our business right now. There's so much food comes in and out of this thing. It's pretty great. Same with this mixer over here. You can see we got some dough going on here, probably pizza dough, I'm sure. So we make this every day. This is Sienna. She's our head baker. She's really the backbone of a lot of things here. This is her whole workstation over here. This actually didn't exist 6 to 8 months ago. We designed this whole thing just for pizza and pasta, put in this whole big wooden table just so we have a big place to work off of. I was talking to my brother on the phone one day, and he lives out at the time he was living in Florida, and he was talking about how incredibly difficult it was to go to the grocery store just to get anything. I was like, well, we have all this really good stuff here. Let's just start selling it to people. You know, since we do make everything in-house here, we were already making bread. We started selling our wheat bread, which we were already making. Our head baker had been messing with the sourdough, so we started selling that to people. We started packaging all of our flour, dried beans, just anything that we thought people would want to buy. For a little while, we were selling lots of yeast to people, just like whatever people needed. That, I think, has calmed down a little bit now that the grocery stores aren't as crazy to get in and out of. But we've maintained our bakery section, which is doing really, really well now. People really like the baked goods, so still doing breads, doing cinnamon rolls, sticky buns, cookies, focaccia, and that's just a regular part of our menu now. I kind of always wanted to have a little bakery section of the restaurant, and this just kind of fast-tracked it, I think. I think my biggest takeaway from this is that it's just like you have to be able to adapt to survive. You know, if it's not working, don't be so stubborn to just be like, no, this is what I'm doing no matter what. Of course, you have to have your core menu items. You have to have a sense of this is who we are and this is what we do, but you have to be willing to be flexible. I think that's just in general is you just have to be flexible all the time, and especially in this industry, you have to change.
What does the future hold for you?
I wish I knew, you know, I mean, I had a bunch of really grand plans for 2020 and I still do, you know. We have a restaurant in LA that we've been trying to open for a while. COVID's really slowed that down. You know, we have a space in Sherman Oaks, which is where I lived in that area for a really long time. I lived in LA for, I want to say 6 or 7 years, and that's where I started my culinary career. So I really was looking forward, and still am looking forward to opening a restaurant up there to really kind of give back to where I learned from. I want to get back into teaching classes. We were teaching pizza and pasta classes all the time, and that stopped once we couldn't have groups of people here anymore. We're building our cheese business, so that's a big thing that we want to get out there into the world a little bit more. I'm not one to kind of just sit and rest. Like, I always wanted to be doing more stuff. It's just right now, the focus is on getting through each day. You know, and you got to have some plans for the future, but sometimes it's like, okay, it's Tuesday, now what am I doing?